O moon of Dubai, why are you dim tonight? Why does the desert wind whisper like it pities a king? Fazza sits alone beneath the fading stars, his heart soaked in memories he can no longer hold. He remembers her smile, soft as the first light of dawn. He remembers her voice, gentle as a quiet prayer. He remembers her footsteps, as tender as mercy. And he remembers losing her, loud and cruel as a storm. The palace feels colder without her laughter. The gardens still bloom, but not for him. The horses run, but he does not ride. Even Fazza, strong as the desert mountains, can fall. He hides his tears from the world, but the night sees everything. Moonlight settles on his face, shimmering on his eyelashes like broken stars. My old wife, he whispers to the emptiness. Where have you gone? Why does love stay behind when the beloved disappears? His voice cracks like dry earth in a burning summer. He touches the ring still resting on his hand. Time has moved forward, but his heart has stayed still. True love does not grow old. Only the ones who carry it do. Dubai's towers rise toward the sky, but inside them he feels unbearably small. The world sees Fazza, the prince, Fazza, the poet, Fazza, the hero. But tonight, he is simply a man who has lost the woman he loved. Her chair remains by the window, her favorite cup untouched, her scent still floating like a ghost of jasmine that refuses to leave these lonely rooms. The silence becomes a weight on his chest, heavy enough to break a desert stone. He closes his eyes and sees her again, smiling at him the way she once did, and the tears come without permission, quiet, warm, unstoppable. The kind of tears only a man who loved deeply can shed, the kind that fall not from the eyes, but from the soul. The night leans closer to him, as if it wants to comfort the prince, who once carried the world so gracefully, but now struggles to carry his own heart. He places his hand on the marble floor, cold as the silence that fills the palace. He remembers how she would kneel beside him, her fingers warm, her presence grounding him like a steady dawn. He whispers to the air, "If you can hear me, come back to me, even as a dream." But dreams have betrayed him too, showing her face only to steal it away before morning. He walks through the long hallway, where her laughter once echoed like music. Now the walls return only silence, a silence sharp enough to cut. He stops beside her empty room, a place he still cannot enter fully. Every time he touches the door, a storm rises inside him that he cannot quiet. Her clothes hang where she left them, as if waiting for her gentle hands to return. Her perfume lingers softly in the air, a fading memory he tries to breathe before it vanishes. He sits on her side of the bed, running his hand along the pillow, where her head once rested in peaceful slumber. He feels the cold fabric and imagines her warmth. "My old wife," he murmurs, "you were my calm in every battle. You were the one who saw me, not the world's Fazza, but the man who hid his fears behind poetry." He looks out the window, at the city he once ruled with fearless grace. Tonight it seems too bright, as if trying to hide the fact that one of its stars has dimmed. He remembers how she held his face, on nights when he felt overwhelmed, how she whispered, "You are strong, but you don't have to be strong for me." And now, without her, strength feels like a burden instead of a blessing. Even the crown feels heavier, as if it knows the one who helped him carry life is gone. He lies on the bed, letting tears soak into the sheets. Each tear is a word he never got the chance to say to her. Outside, the wind grows soft, carrying the scent of desert flowers, her favorite fragrance, as if the world itself mourns for its grieving prince. He closes his eyes and imagines her voice, gentle and comforting. Do not cry, my Fazza. I am with you in every breath, in every sunrise, in every quiet moment you cannot bear. But when he opens his eyes, only darkness remains, and he realizes once again that love can stay even when the beloved cannot. The dawn begins to rise slowly, painting the sky with soft gold and pale lavender, but Fazza feels no warmth in it, for morning only reminds him that she is not here to see it. He walks toward the balcony, where they once watched the sunrise together, her head resting gently on his shoulder, her smile brighter than the first light of the day. He touches the empty space beside him, imagining her presence, feeling the ghost of her hand slipping into his, a memory so vivid it hurts like a fresh wound. He whispers, "If time could hear me, I would beg it to return you to me, even for a single moment." But time answers no one, not even princes, not even men whose hearts have carried nations. The city below awakens. Cars begin to move. Birds begin to sing. But his world remains frozen in the moment she left. He remembers the nights she stayed awake with him, listening to his worries, offering comfort when he thought he had none left. She was the lantern of his darkest days, the softness he turned to when the world grew too sharp. Now the world feels nothing but sharp, 1,000 invisible blades pressing into his chest. He leans against the railing, his tears falling silently, lost in the wind before they reach the ground. No one below will ever know that the prince above them breaks a little more each dawn. He closes his eyes, and her laughter echoes through his mind, light, sweet, and unforgettable. It wraps around his heart like a warm shawl. Before dissolving into the morning air, he whispers into the wind, tell her I am not the same without her." But the wind can carry only whispers, not miracles. Inside the palace, he walks past the room where she kept her books, running his fingers along the shelves, as if touching the stories she once loved might bring her back to him. He stops at the little wooden box she cherished, the one where she kept letters, clips of poems he wrote, and dried flowers he gave her on quiet evenings. He opens it slowly, and the scent of old memories escapes, soft and heartbreaking. He reads a little note she once wrote, "My love, if one day I leave before you, know that my heart will never walk away from yours." His breath trembles, his hands shake around the tiny paper, for her words feel alive, as if she is speaking them this very moment, standing beside him like she used to. He presses the note to his chest, closing his eyes tightly, feeling the ache rise like a wave he cannot control. He sinks to the floor, and the palace, grand and golden, feels like a cage built out of memories. "My old wife," he murmurs, "you were my peace in a restless world. Without you, even the beauty around me feels distant, muted, unfinished." And as the morning becomes brighter, his heart grows heavier, for every new day he lives without her is another day he learns that grief has no end, only pauses. The sun climbs higher, bathing the city in brilliance, but Fazza feels only shadow within him. Even gold cannot warm a heart frozen by loss. He walks slowly through the palace halls, each step echoing like a reminder that she is no longer beside him. Every door he opens whispers her absence. He stops at the garden where she loved to sit, the roses bending as if leaning toward her memory. He kneels among the petals, fingers brushing the soft edges, and imagines her laughter mixing with the breeze. He remembers the way she tended the flowers, with hands gentle yet purposeful, as if she knew every blossom's secret desire. She brought life to the garden, and to him, now the garden blooms without her care. Beautiful, yes, but hollow. He sits beneath the old olive tree, its branches wide like the arms of the one he misses. He whispers her name, and the wind seems to answer, rustling leaves in soft, sorrowful murmurs. Memories come in waves, her singing softly while he wrote poetry, her hand in his during quiet nights, the way she leaned on him after a long day, trusting him to hold her heart as carefully as she held his. The weight of her absence presses on him, not with the gentleness of night, but with the force of a storm. He remembers the small things, the way she would leave a cup of tea for him, the way she smiled when he stumbled over words, the warmth of her coat wrapped around his shoulders on cold nights. He clutches the memory to himself, feeling both comfort and pain. It is the cruel paradox of love. The very thing that gave him life now takes his breath. He walks to the fountain in the center of the garden, water sparkling in the morning sun, but its music sounds hollow to his ears. He remembers her sitting on its edge, tossing pebbles and making wishes he would never forget. "Why did you leave me so soon?" He whispers into the rippling water. Why must love stay alive in the heart, even when it departs from the arms? The fountain seems to answer only with ripples, silent, endless, repeating, as if to tell him that life moves. Whether he is ready or not, he leans his forehead against the stone, feeling the coolness seep into his grief, even as the palace hums with activity. Even as the city rises and shines, he feels isolated, a king without his queen, a man without his other half. He remembers her voice calling his name softly, as if from a dream. "Fazza, do not cry for me, for I am always with you." Yet the voice fades too quickly, leaving him with only the ache and the echo of what once was. He closes his eyes and lets himself fall into memory, letting tears run freely down his face, for he knows there is no shame in mourning the one who made life beautiful. He imagines her smile one last time, soft, radiant, untouchable, and he whispers to the wind, "My old wife, until the stars fall from the sky, I will remember you. I will mourn you. I will love you." The evening comes slowly, pulling shadows across the palace walls. Fazza walks through the corridors, his footsteps quiet, almost invisible. The halls remember her laughter, but now they only echo his sorrow. He pauses by the music room, where she once played the oud, her fingers dancing over strings. Like whispers of the heart, the notes linger in the air, unplayed, incomplete, waiting for her hands. He closes the door gently, as if afraid to disturb her memory. Even the furniture seems to sigh, heavy with the absence of her presence. In the courtyard, the fountains sparkle in the dying light, but he sees only reflections of her face in the water. A fleeting vision that disappears as soon as he reaches for it. He remembers the times they sat together, laughing at nothing, sharing everything. The gardens are quiet now, but he can hear her voice in every rustle of leaves, every whisper of the wind, every scent of jasmine that drifts through the air. He kneels among the roses once more, running his fingers over the soft petals. They are beautiful, yet they cannot comfort him. He touches the earth where she planted them, as if connecting with the life she once nurtured. My old wife, he whispers, you were the soul of my days, the calm in my storms, the warmth in my coldest nights. The stars begin to appear, but even their brilliance cannot pierce the darkness inside him. He looks up, searching for her among the constellations, hoping to find her watching over him, hoping to feel her presence in the silent heavens. He remembers the night she first told him she loved him, the gentle certainty in her eyes, the way her hand fit perfectly in his, like it was always meant to be there. Now her hand is gone, her eyes closed in another world, and he is left holding only shadows, only echoes, only memories. He walks to the balcony, the wind tugging at his cloak, and he imagines her there beside him, leaning against the railing, smiling at the city below, the same city that now feels so hollow without her. He whispers a prayer for her soul and for his own heart, begging for the strength to endure, though every breath is heavy with longing. He recalls her laughter in the rain, the way it danced over the drops, the way it made even the storms seem gentle. He misses the sound more than he can bear, and the tears fall again, silent, unstoppable, cleansing and cruel all at once. He moves to her bedroom, standing by the window where she used to sit, looking out at the desert that stretches beyond the city. The same desert that now feels endless, because she is not there to share its quiet beauty. He touches her favorite chair, running his hand along the armrest, feeling the shape of her memory, soft, warm, real in the emptiness. My love, he whispers, you were my light. Without you, I am a shadow wandering through my own life. He kneels on the floor, pressing his forehead to the cold marble, feeling the pain rise through him like a tide, knowing there is no stopping it, no holding it back. The palace sleeps around him, silent except for the echoes of memories, the whispers of a love that refuses to leave, the ghosts of a woman who made him whole. He closes his eyes, and for a moment he sees her again, smiling, alive, breathing, the world bright and warm because she is in it. Then the vision fades, and the prince is alone once more, crying for the woman who shaped his heart, crying for the life that can never return, crying because love, once true, does not end with absence.